Okay, so here is a quick flip through of my pages for this past year's bullet journal and the start of 2020's bullet journal. So this is my journal. As you can see, it's about the size of an average spiral notebook. I like it because it has a nice big pages, and it was a great way to start my bullet journaling practice. And if we open up to the cover page, so I have some sticky notes. I use sticky notes everywhere. I love sticky notes. There's my cover page. I did a little oops at the very beginning, so I decided to put a little stick man guy there. I thought that was pretty cool. And then I have birthday page, a weekly schedule. I do not even use this in any respect, but I was just kind of learning what to do with pages and also trying out my different markers versus colored pencils, etc. I tried for a no spend September, and as you can see, I think I did pretty okay, at least until the end. Then there was a blank page because I didn't like how it bled through in a lot of places. This was for my student loans, my little piggy, and I haven't finished filling out the bottom of it yet, but hey, I managed to pay $3,000 towards a student loan in 4 months. I think I did pretty good. There's also my weight goals page, which, as you can see, I am currently working on my way down. This is my big goal right here, 200 by May. As you can see, I have quite a bit of room to go. Thank you, holiday season. But this is my ultimate goal, if I can hit 150 pounds. For a woman of 5'2", that is definitely possible. And then this was my future log. Now, since I started in September is when I started bullet journaling. It went all the way to February, and as you can see, I'm missing some stuff because I went ahead and transferred this to my other future log. But this is just like some basic holidays and things like that, and when certain bills I know are automatically going to be due. And then, again, blank page, because I wanted to start fresh. This was October's. Now, as you notice, in the September, I was still kind of getting used to things. So October was actually the first month that I started doing monthly spreads and weekly spreads. And I drew, all of this was all free drawn and with markers. Most of the markers that I used for this page were mild liners put out by Zebra. And then this was my very first monthly spread, and as you can see, I even used a ruler. I was so proud of myself. And then, of course, I messed up. But yeah, I think I did pretty good on that particular monthly spread. I especially like the flower that came out. Then there was a habit tracker. My lovely little pumpkins. As you can see, I didn't do very well in cleaning the church, but I ended up fixing that in some respects. This was my first mood tracker. As you can see, it was primarily a pretty good month. So I decided to do a different kind of mood tracker in the next month, and I will show y'all that in a little bit. This was my very first weekly spread. I tried a different spread every single week. I tried this style, and I found that I didn't really have enough room in the boxes, at least in my opinion. Not to mention I kind of messed up a little bit. And then so I tried for this spread. This is technically a 2-pager because it also has a brain dump over here. Please ignore that. That was a dream that I had. And this is the primary spread that I have ended up using in just about all of my weeks. I was also practicing. I had also just gotten a calligraphy pen, and was practicing calligraphy. I am relatively terrible at it, but practice makes perfect. This was my third weekly spread. I was going for as max amount of space as I could for my days, and this one actually worked the best, but I hated wasting 2 pages for it. And if you hear me wheezing, I apologize. I'm having a mild asthma attack. And then I tried for a vertical spread. I actually really messed up, and that's where all these little stitch lines came from. As you can see, then my lines weren't exactly great, but it actually looked pretty kind of Frankenstein-y, and I really liked that. So, little stitchy stuff, stitchy witchy stuff. And this one actually worked out really well, but again, I didn't like wasting 2 pages per week. This is not exactly a very thick journal, and I didn't want to waste all of my pages just on overly elaborate spreads. Alright, so this was the final week in October, and I tried for like a circle, just to, because I wanted to try a different spread every single time. This worked out okay, but what you can't really see is on the other side of this page, you could see the circle, and I ended up incorporating it into a quote page for the next month, which, lucky me, it worked out pretty well. But still, I wanted to try different weekly spreads just to see which one worked best for me, because, practice makes perfect. You see how I used that circle? Made it into a little quote page. Coincidentally, there are 30 days in November, and there are 30 gratitudes on this page. And yes, towards the end I kind of bullshitted, but then it just happens. Simple cover page for November. I wanted to keep with a specific theme, so I did teacups. These particular colors, again, mild liners from Zebra. And then there was my month. I don't know why this is like so luminous against this particular camera flash, but that's just the way that cookie crumbles. And this was my habit tracker. Now, I tried this tracker in a different journal, which I didn't like the way the pages were, so that's why I did it in this one. And then over here, I did a mood tracker. So I actually had both on the same page, and they kind of blend together, hence why there's a gray drop shadow, so you can kind of distinguish between the two. But I actually really liked it. It reminded me of like a kind of a patchwork quilt, which works real well with cups of tea. So as you can see, I was tracking a lot of stuff I have narrowed down since then. Alright, this is my personal favorite spread. I absolutely love this spread. I love it because I have all of the days of the week in the middle, or all of the days of the month, excuse me. And then I have designated on both ends. That way I can have 2 different trackers on the same page. I can clearly see what's going on. I forgot to highlight those, but whatever. And really see my progress. It works even better than my actual weight loss app. So I'm actually deleted the app, and I'm just going to have it in my bullet journal. This is my expenses tracker. I almost ran out of room. But I did manage to fit it all on one page, so that was good. And then as you can see, I edited the October spread. So I have a little task section here for like super important things that absolutely need to be done. And then these are actually just kind of fill outs about my day. So like if something interesting happened, like say for example, I had breakfast on a day, which I don't usually do. Or I had a very nice note come in from a friend of mine from an old church that I went to. I wrote that down, and I did different types of teacups for every single day. There's my little elephant teacup. Every single day for all the weeks. So each week is only one page. Certain things are highlighted because they are certain things to do, or designated, like that was a birthday. Yellow is birthdays. And there's week 4. And sometimes I didn't have any tests, and it was awesome when I didn't, but I would still try to write at least a little bit about my day. And then, of course, we get to Christmas in December. Now, I celebrate Advent, and since I couldn't find my Advent wreath because I moved and I couldn't find it, I drew one instead. This was all free-handed. And again, I was practicing with calligraphy, and then these are all colored. I'd gotten a set of the Crayola Super Tips, and I colored all of this with super tip markers, and except for the bow. I could not find a super tip marker that was a bright red. This was my red Sharpie brush pen, which is actually the pen brand, so it doesn't bleed through. As you can see, it doesn't really bleed through. And then my December cover page. And one of my big things I was going to do this month was go see the Star Wars movie. So I have a little Kylo Ren and Rey in my stocking. made my day. So there is my month for December, and I had some extra tasks and things that I really needed to be done. Check marks were things that got finished, arrows are things that got moved. I have a different system than you see in a lot of bullet journal tracker things, but whatever. Then this was my habit tracker for the month. As you can see, I narrowed it down a lot more than what was in November's. And in January, I've narrowed down even more. I'll show you that in a little bit. Okay, again, there's the weight tracker and the sleep tracker. It's a little more tricky because there are 31 days, so I didn't really have that extra row. So I moved the days over here so they wouldn't butt up against the spine. And then just tried to keep the same colors. Now this is my personal favorite one. This is my mood tracker for December, and it's based off of a t-shirt that my mother painted. And I did different colors for as you can see, I still have a few more days. But I had a really up and down kind of month, and honestly that worked out for the better because it just looks so cute. And again, my expenses tracker, these are just general estimates, so don't think I like spend. And as you can see, I still have some spaces left. I tried not to go too crazy. And then for this month, I did Christmas lights. So it's the same style, but I did different kinds and shapes of Christmas lights. And as you can see, as you'll probably see on this next page, don't look at the numbers, don't look at the numbers. I even did a chili pepper light, but there's purple here and pink here. They relate to the colors of the Advent candles. And then, since there was one extra week per se, as you can see, I did all the way to the 4th of January. So this is the last week, and it's just kind of gray because technically it doesn't have a color for Advent. And then there was a year in review, just kind of something to fill an extra page because I honestly like to start new months and new things on the right page. So I also decided to try to get into stickers. And these stickers I found on Wish. Yes, I went to Wish. And they were some of those just pay for shipping, so I only spent a couple dollars on a little set of like 40 stickers. So I used those for my main spreads for the beginning of the year of 2020. And then again, here's my expense student loan tracker, which I'm actually kind of proud of. I love the colors. I loved how they meshed with the stickers. Again, 0 mild liners. I freaking love those. And then here's my future log. And what I did, since mild liners work like a highlighter, certain things have different colors, and so they're color-coded on the months. As you can see, I'm a very busy person. And then I also wanted to see if I could write on the stickers. They do smudge, you have to let them dry, but I still think that they came out really cute. And then I just did this quote page today, because as you could probably see, I had some empty pages in my beginning part, but you know what? I don't see an empty page. I see endless possibilities and potential. And I did this with some stickers that I bought from Walmart in their little sticker book things like this. You can get for like $5-6. And then I got some washi tape off of Wish. Again, that's where I've been getting most of my stickers. This was a different sticker set, and I was just having some fun writing January, practicing my different fonts and things. And then here, I went again with a 2-page monthly spread just because the stickers were so big. But this was a sticker set that I got off of Wish. I think it looks really cute. The only problem is that they gave me 2 different Sundays and no Thursday, so I had to go in there and edit. Here are the habit trackers that I have narrowed down to. And then this one right here is actually my mood tracker. I'll just put a little smiley face depending on how I'm feeling. And no, they don't really line up with the rest of the month, but that was the only way I could get the blocks to fit in there. And I actually still think it looked pretty cute. And then this is my first weekly spread of January. And I'm going to try to do a rolling weekly, but for right now, it's just on some sticky notes. I got some cube-shaped sticky notes at Walmart. So that's what this looks like. And hopefully, and for the next few weeks, I will be working on that. I did try setting this up starting 2020 with starting on Monday. So if I decide to do any extra sticker work, my weekends are down here and I can put a little bar here and just see how it goes. 2020 is the beginning of a lot of new things, and I want to see how that works for me. And if it doesn't work, then in the next week I can just start with Sunday and keep on trucking. As you can see, I just have a little bit left, but this particular spiral, which I dearly love the size, is put out by Gotcha Covered Notebooks. There's some more of the factory specs if I can get it to zoom. And I actually really do love this size. I have a purse that this fits in really well. And obviously I did a little grid page in the back just so I could kind of see how things fit and tried out some markers. But this is my very first bullet journal, and I'm really proud of how it's coming along. So let's see how it goes in the new year.